welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing the HRCYED recommendations and we have reached the not so secret prompts. And as far as I can tell, last round Q presented one secret extra prompt every month. So there are 12 of them now, and we all have to do them now, even if we didn't do them last round, which I did not do. So like I said, 12 of them. And I'm not sure if she's doing secret prompts again this round, but I don't think I will be doing those either. So HRCYED is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, and even though I am like taking it quite lightly and tweaking the rules a little bit to fit my style of reading more, it's still the hardest reading challenge I ever did. In round 2 I managed to get 1 bingo, and I don't think I got any in round 1, so even though I'm technically cheating a little bit, I am not winning at all. So yeah, so let's just get going. The not so secret prompts anymore. The first one is to read a whole book outside, and my recommendations for you, something short. You don't want to be spending like days upon days out there. I don't, at least. And especially not now. There's a heat wave in Denmark, so I am suffering. Anyway, I would recommend All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is part of a series called the Murderbot Diaries, and most of the series is novellas, so they are quite short. And basically it's about this robot droid thing that has hacked its own system and become self-aware, but instead of, you know, rising up against the overlords, they just want to watch TV basically. So they pretend that everything is fine and dandy. They take the orders that are given to them and perform them, and then basically just hunker down and watch TV whenever they have the chance. They do meet some people that start to question this way of life, but yeah, really enjoyable, really fun. And Murderbot, which is the name that they have picked for themselves, is just like a great character to follow. We also have the Every Heart a Doorway series by Sean Maguire. These are also novellas, and basically it's about kids who go to different worlds, so like Narnia, and then they come back to our world and have trouble fitting in, obviously. And in this world there are 2 schools, so basically this school that we follow, where the kids who want to go back to the magical worlds go, and then there's another school where the kids who want to stay in our world go and like try to learn how to deal with everything that entails. And at least so far, every other book is at the school and every other book is in a magical world. I definitely like the school setting more for some reason. And this first one is also set at the school, and it's a murder mystery. Yeah, and there are a bunch of books out, so even if you have started it, you can take the next one. Then we have A Psalm for the Wild Build by Becky Chambers, the first book in a duology, also quite short, a novella. And this is about humanity, what it means to be human, you know, what's it called, autonomy over your own self. There's this tea monk who is questioning their purpose in life, and they meet a robot, and this robot is a so-called wild-built robot, meaning that it wasn't built by people, because ages and ages ago humans had robots to help them work, but at some point the robots developed sentience and decided to leave the humans, and the humans just let them. So they have been living apart, but now this robot has been sent on a mission to make contact with the humans again. Then we have a craft on cover, and as far as I can tell, you can either have a book with a craft on the cover, or you can read an entire book while you're crafting, so like probably an audiobook. And that could be any book you want. So again, something short maybe, so that you can craft a little while you are reading. But otherwise, you can read Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. And this is about a woman who basically has half a soul and is trying to navigate the sort of a Regency Jane Austen style marriage market with that information. Then we have a pun in the title, and I recently finished Human Rights because, you know, it's about witches, so rights, but also human rights because it's about who has the right to decide for other people. This is the third in a book in a series, so you might need to read the other two, and otherwise, if you are in this series, you can definitely use this one for this prompt. And I do recommend the other books in the series. Then we have a first and last name in the title, and if you haven't read any of the Emily Wilde books yet, you now have a chance. The first one is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, but like with some of the other series here, the other two books are also called Emily Wilde, blah blah blah. So anywhere you are in this series would work. Let's see. Oh, first and last name in the title. Okay, this one doesn't count. I thought it was called like Flavia de Luce something something. Now, I haven't read any Percy Jackson books, but they come highly recommended from other people. And again, a ton of books to start on. We also have a classic, if that is more your type. So Jane Eyre, that's her full name. And if you are more in the romance era, then there is a book called Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And again, this is a series, and the other two books, I think, follow her sisters. So, and they also have titles with the full names in them. Then we have a missed childhood chapter book. So if you never got around to reading The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, now's your chance. And with the, whatchamacallit, Wicked movies coming out like recently, this could be a fun read before you see the movies. And obviously there's also The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, where the kids go to Narnia, and a bunch of books in this series as well, and also a major motion picture. And another classic, Anne of Green Gables. Such a great book. I have recently reread it again. Like I read it a number of times, and it's just so great and nostalgic. Then we have a book from the I'll Get Around to tag. And I can't really help you with that because I don't know what you are procrastinating on. So next we have Joseph's coat color in the title, and as far as I could tell, that was basically every color under the sun. So we do have a Yellow Face by Rebecca F. Kwang. I enjoyed this one, but I did feel like it dragged on a little bit. This is about a white author who is sort of frenemies with an Asian American author, and one night they are hanging out together, and the Asian American author dies, and then the white author steals her manuscript and passes it off as her own. And then she's like, because it's based in some Asian history, it's, you know, first of all, she steals a manuscript, and second of all, she kind of tries to come off as more ethnic or like ethnically ambiguous than she is, because her middle name is Song, but in the hippie kind of way, you know, Rainbow Song or whatever, and not in the Asian, this is an actual name, Asian name kind of way. But yeah, she uses that name to sort of pass herself off. And we basically follow her as this whole thing unravels around her. And yeah, like I said, really, really good, but it did drag on a little bit. If you are into romance and you haven't read it yet, you can read Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and this is about the son of the American president and the British heir to the throne who meet up, and at first they don't really like each other, but they have to play nice for the cameras, and then they end up liking each other. And I think that was it. So then we have, the title is the exact same as another book. And I haven't really read that many things, but I do feel like The Nightingale was offered up in the Storygraph thing. I did search on it, and the only other thing that came up was a book called The Nightingale, Tales from Ukraine or something. So yeah, this one, you're kind of on your own. Then we have Doom Scrolling Your Read. Again, I can't really help you with that one because I don't know what your algorithm looks like. So we are moving into the cover that features motion. Oh, sorry. If we go back to the double title, or the exact same title, Elsie Silver does have a book called Fever Dream. I haven't read this one, but I read a book called Fever Dream by Samantha Sweblin, which was like a literary fiction, and it very much felt like a fever dream because it was just, I had no idea what was going on. So, but if you like romance and you like Elsie Silver, this is an option. And if you like weird literary fiction, the other one is an option for you as well. Oh yeah, I also found this one. I haven't read any of them, but I thought it was kind of fun that, you know, this is quite a specific title, but there are two books called the exact same thing, but they do seem to be like maybe a little bit similar. Yeah, so moving on to cover in motion, and I would recommend Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I really like her writing, and she is very much in motion here, swinging about and flying and all sorts of things. So this is about a young woman who gets the chance to go to court in order to work as a tailor for the emperor. But in order to do so, she has to dress up as her brother. And then, you know, things happen. Some people are trying to work against her because she's from a poor family from out in the country, and she's trying to keep her secret and advance in this competition. So yeah, let's see. Most recent acquisition, again, I can't help you because I don't know what you have recently bought or gotten from the library or borrowed from a friend or whatever. And the last prompt is that the last name is a first name. And at first I was very confused, but as far as I can tell from the what's called recommendations on Storygraph, it just means that the author's last name could be a first name. So for example, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Ross is a first name. This one I really enjoyed. It's a duology, and it takes place in this world that's sort of like early 20th century, First World War feel. At least that's what I got from it. And there is a war going on, and there are gods on opposing sides, and they are trying to get humans to fight for them. And then we have these two, a young man and a young woman, who are vying for the same job at a newspaper, and they are both sent to the front to report. And first they are like rivals, and then they turn into something else. Then we also have Beach Read by Emily Henry. Henry is the first name, and obviously you could do anything by Emily Henry, so if you have read this one, you can try one of her other books. But this one is about two authors who end up in neighboring like beach houses over the summer, and they are both kind of stuck in their ways, so they agree to switch genres. So she has to write a literary novel and he has to write a romance, as far as I remember. Yeah, and it's just their journey with themselves and these projects. Then we also have Jade City by Fonda Lee, because Lee is a first name. And this is sort of a rival gangs, mafia-esque, but with magic. Yeah, generational family novel. And that's it. So that's my recommendations for you. Let me know what you are reading, what you would recommend for me. And before you do that, I will show you my TBR. For reading a whole book outside, I really want to read What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher, because this is the third one in the Sworn Soldier series that I have really, really enjoyed. And this came out like a few months ago. At this point, maybe even longer, like 6 months. Anyway, I really want to read it. I could also read the next one in the Wayward Children series that I talked about earlier in my recommendations, Every Heart a Doorway. So this would be Where the Drowned Girls Go. I'm assuming by the title that this is one of the ones set in the magical world. So yeah, I'm not really that excited. like I said, I like the stuff set at the school more, but anyway. Then we have a craft on the cover while crafting, or crafting while you read. And I found this one, The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead, based purely on the fact that I think I have heard people talk about it. It's a thriller, so either way it'll read fast. I think thrillers usually read pretty fast. And she does have like a needle and thread on it. Otherwise, I could do just any audiobook while I do some crafting. Then we have a pun in the title, and I picked For Whom the Bell Tolls. And as far as I can tell, this is like a bell, you know, like a southern bell in the States. Yeah, pun. So first and last name in the title, I have The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna. I have no idea what this is about. I was just fascinated by the title, which reminded me of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. So yeah. Then we also have The 3 Lives of Kate Kay. And I think this is about an author who has been writing under a pseudonym, and she wants to like reveal herself. Then we have a missed childhood chapter book, and I kind of want to read the Moomins, because all the books I talk to you guys about, I have read, like Narnia and The Wizard of Oz and Anne of Green Gables, obviously. And when I was a kid, I watched the cartoon of the Moomins, but I don't think I actually ever read the books. Then we have a book from the I'll Get Around to tag, which is basically books you have been procrastinating. And this one, I think, takes the cake for my procrastination with books, because usually I'm pretty good at DNFing and just like hard DNF, never returning to this book. But this one, it's quite dense. I started it like a year and a half ago, and I just remember I think I started it like 3 times because I was just like not comprehending what she was saying. So yeah, I think it's about time that I get into this. If it turns out to be too much, then I have 2 books that are kind of soft DNF'd in June that could maybe work for this. Basically, they had to go back to the library, and I wasn't so invested that I have booked them again. But, you know, if I'm defeated by this, then I might have to go back to those. So Joseph's Coat Collar in the title. I saw that Marie Lu has a book called Red City, and I really enjoyed her, what's it called? Legend, I think, trilogy. I really didn't enjoy, what's it called, The Young Elites. I think I DNF'd the first book in that, so this is like a bit of a gamble. Then we have the title is the exact same as another book, and we have No Exit by Taylor Adams. And this is also a thriller, so again, it would read pretty fast. Oh. I do believe that the Favorites by Lynn Fargo is also like a double title, so that could be an option as well. Then we have Doom Scroll Your Reads, and I recently came across this one, Poet, Mystic, Widow and Wife, The Extraordinary Lives of Medieval Women, on Instagram, I think, and it just sounded really interesting, because she basically takes 4 medieval women that we do have some sources on, one who is a poet, one who's a mystic, one who's a widow, and one who is a wife, and talks about their lives in, you know, medieval society. And I'm assuming she's going to extrapolate a little bit into like lives of normal women, because obviously we mostly have sources about the richer end of society, because that's what has been preserved. Then we have a cover that features motion. Tin Man by Sarah Winman was all the rage when it first came out. Honestly, I don't think it's for me, because I think it's literary fiction, and that is not really my style of reading. But I do remember when it came out, everybody loved it, and that was in my era of everyone loves it, so I must love it too. Let's put it on the TBR. Otherwise, we do have the Favorites again, because they are very much ice skating, figure skating or whatever. Yeah, and this is about figure skaters who are, I don't know if they're rivals to lovers or what, but people were giving it good reviews when it came out. Then the most recent acquisition, I think for me, that is the Jakarta method, right, as of right now. If we are going by books that I have bought myself and not gotten from the library. I don't really buy a whole lot of books, so it's probably going to be this one. And finally, we have The Last Name is a First Name, and I picked Copper Script by KJ Charles, because it's like a historical murder mystery, as far as I know, and Charles is a first name. And this would also double up in the periodic table for copper. So yeah, that is my TBR and a few recommendations for you. Let me know if you have any other recommendations for me or for other people, especially like the double title. What's it called? Yeah, the title is the exact same. I feel like that's a little bit hard to know unless you happen to know of these books that are the same. Yeah, and let me know, especially with the doom scrolling, what did you get for that one? I'm interested in what your algorithm serves you. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.